We are building a Stormtrooper. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do the shoulder bells. This is a very simple piece of the armor, which is why we're going to go ahead and start there on this build. Some of the materials we're going to use for this stage of the building include trimming scissors, an X-Acto blade, fine grit sandpaper, a pencil, and a Dremel with sanding bits. And of course your safety goggles. So as you can see, the shoulder bells come pre-molded in one piece. So the first thing we need to do is separate this into two shoulder bells. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can cut them in half. You can use your X-Acto knife, however best for you. I'm going to use a little bit of both. First thing I'm going to do is take my X-Acto knife and just split this right down the middle. The nice thing about this plastic is that once you score it with a knife, it breaks very easily. This extra big piece here that's going to get in my way of forming it and building the return edge along the bottom, and I'm just going to use my trimming scissors to cut as much of that piece off as I can. You can use your X-Acto blade for this step if you want as well. It's really whatever works for you, but you want to get as much of the plastic away from your workspace as possible. So now we have our two shoulder bells trimmed down. Eventually, what we're going to want to do is fit this shoulder bell to our shoulder to figure out how wide we need the bell to be. But it's not fitting very nicely because we still have this large edge on the bottom. What we want on this is we want a very small return edge along the bottom. So what we're going to do next is draw a pattern in pencil of what we want that return edge to look like. This doesn't have to be perfect. Essentially, we just need a guide to keep us from cutting and trimming too close to where we want our edge to be. So you'll see here, I drew a return edge along the bottom, and that's going to be the bottom edge of our shoulder bell when we're done. So what do we do next? We cut some more. We're going to take our trimmers, and this time we're going to do it a little bit more carefully and get as close to that edge as we can. But we don't need to worry about a nice, straight, perfectly cut edge because we're going to come in and finish it afterwards. Now at this part here, I'm having a real hard time getting the scissors in there. So I cut up both sides, and I'm going to use my score and snap method to break that little interior piece off. Take our X-Acto knife, and we're just going to score that top edge where it's hard to get the scissors into. And with a nice little score, all we got to do is bend our cut, and our piece comes right out very easily. So now I can finish. So what you'll see here is that we now have a very rough cut following the pattern that I made for my return edge on the bottom of the bell. So with our Dremel, we're going to take one of our little sandpaper bits here. It's the little round one, very sandpapery, and we're going to put that in our Dremel to do the dirty work. Ready to go, but safety first. So now we're going to take our Dremel and we're going to very carefully sand off that extra edge down there right up to that line that we drew giving us a nice return edge on the bottom of our bell. So I did my first pass here, and I think I'm going to come in a little closer. I'm not super thrilled with it. It's not even. I think I want it to be more like this edge here than here. So I'm going to go with another pass and bring it in a little closer everywhere around. But I'm going to draw it in with pencil first so that I know where I am coming in as I'm doing the work. All right, so I went in and I drew another line there a little closer to give me a little tighter, but still have a little bit of an edge at the bottom. But when I was doing that work a minute ago, I realized a problem, and it's not in the armor. It's not in how I'm cutting it. It's in me. I'm getting old. So instead of this type of glasses, I got to put on readers so I can see the lines that I'm working on. I feel old, but that's much better. So now we're going to take another pass with the Dremel on this new line and get it where I want it to go. Keep in mind that every Dremel is going to have different speeds, different settings. So you're going to want to start slow and build up to a speed that you think is right. That's not going to eat the plastic so quickly that you can't control it, but not be so slow that you're not going to be able to do the work. So one tip I'm going to show you here is when we're trying to get down to these lines we've drawn, a real nice method that I've come up with is to start where your cut is still behind the line and gently just roll down into the area that's already trimmed. And that's going to help you stay along the line and make your cut smoother and more controlled. So you'll see we have a nice short little return edge here now that we're going to be able to use. Give it some depth when it's on, but not so much of an edge that it's going to pop out from the arm when you're wearing it. Next, we need to see how much of this edge are we going to trim off around the side to make the bell fit my arm. Easy way to do that, drop it on and see. Right out of the box, this looks like it's actually a fairly decent fit as far as where it would fit on my shoulders. So I'm not going to take that much off the edge, but I do have to take out some to even it out, to make it a nice straight line, which we're not seeing here, and to remove some of the excess plastic that we're seeing here. So I'm going to take a very quarter of an inch off around the edge on this to make it fit nicely. And we're going to use our pencil again to draw that return edge that we're looking for. So we've drawn our pencil line, and once again, we're going to go in with the Dremel, and we're going to get it down to size. All right, now we have a straighter edge all the way around. We have our return edge along the bottom, but it's very rough. So, our last step, a little fine grained sandpaper, and we're going to go in and polish all of those edges up. Make them nice and smooth, nice and straight, and ready for arm. When you're sanding, don't be afraid if you get a little bit of scuff marks along the edge of the display side of the armor. You can sand that down with really fine paper to get rid of the scratches. And then the last video in this series is going to tell you how to shine and polish your armor. And that will remove any scuffs or marks you make along the display edge of your armor. And there you have it. 2 completed shoulder bells ready to go for your Stormtrooper armor. If you like this video and you want to see the whole series, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Like this video, comment what piece you want to see next, and I look forward to making more videos to show you how to build a Stormtrooper. May the Force be with you.